Okay, let's do our pronunciation practice today. Mr. Hung, before we do a practice, let's repeat after me. Can you? Da, di, dum, den. Can you repeat after me? Da, di, dum, den.
The them, them,
These, those,
these, those,
these,
these,
those. Kéo dài. Longer.
these,
These,
those,
those,
these,
this, that,
those, this, that,
this, that.
this, that,
This, that.
this, that,
Okay, this, that.
this, that.
It is.
It is,
This
it,
is.
it is,
That is.
that is, that
These
is,
are.
because,
These
be,
are.
sorry,
These are.
these are,
There
these,
are.
there are.
Them,
There,
them, the. This, that, these, those, them, then, the.
did,
This,
that,
that, the,
them,
those, them, then, the.
did, that, them, this,
That.
those,
Okay, very
did,
good.
those.
Those. Okay, let's do our pronunciation practice. So we work on test 4, reading passage 1 and cam 18. Okay, it's about green roofs on top of us. Oh my God, I'm so glad that my new apartment it's cooler than this one. It's much more cooler than this one.
Green roofs,
Green
green
roofs. Okay,
roofs,
A, rooftops covered with grass.
rooftops covered with grass,
Vegetable
vegetable
gardens.
gardens, and lush foliage, lush foliage,
Lush
and
foliage. Lush foliage. Lush
lush,
foliage.
lush foliage,
And now
lush,
a common
lush
sight.
foliage, and now a
A
common
common
sight,
sight in many cities around the
and,
world.
and now a common sight in many cities around the world. More and more private companies and city authorities are investing in green roofs, draw to their wide ranking,
Drawn to their wide range
drawn
benefits.
to their wide-ranging benefits, drawn, drawn, drawn to their,
Drawn,
drawn,
drawn to their
draw,
wide
drawn, drawn to their wide-ranging benefits. Among the
benefits
benefits,
are saving on
among the benefits are saving on energy costs, mitigating
cost,
cost
energy cost,
on energy cost, mitigating,
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 mitigating the risk of
flood,
flux,
risk of
flux, mitigating
floods,
the risk of
risk, risk,
risk, risk,
mitigating the risk
risk
of
of
floods,
flood,
floods,
the risk of flood, making habitats uh, for for urban making habitats for urban
wildlife, for urban
wildlife
wildlife,
for urban wildlife tackling 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 pollution tackling air pollution and even growing food. These increasingly radical These
increasingly radical urban designs.
These increasingly radical
Urban designs
urban designs
can help
can
cities
help
adapt
cities
to
adapt to the
monumental problems they face.
monumental problems
They
they
face,
face,
such as
such
access to
as
resources.
access to
Access cái này là
resources,
access.
access,
Access, access,
access,
access.
such as access to resources and a lack
Resources, access to
resource
resources.
to resources
And
to
a lack of
resource
green space
and
due
a
to
lack of
development.
green space due to development.
Yes. But the
But
involvement
the
of city authorities,
involvement,
the
but the
involvement
involvement,
of city authorities
but the involvement of city authority,
businesses
business,
and other
and
institutions
other institution,
institutions is
institution
crucial to ensuring their success.
and other institutions is crucial
To
to
ensuring their
ensuring
success.
their success, as is research research
As is research investigating different
at
options.
the research investigating different
Investigating.
investigating
No.
in
Nhưng âm hai.
research
Investigate. Investigating.
research investigating
Investigating.
investigating
Investigating different options
investigating different options to suit the variety of rooftop space found in cities. So, as is research investigating different options to suit the variety of rooftop space
suit
the
the variety of rooftop spaces.
the variety of rooftop space found in cities. The UK is relatively new to developing green roofs, and local governments and institution are playing a
institutions are playing a major role in
institution are playing a mature
a
role,
major role in spreading the practice.
a major role in spreading
The
the
practice.
practice,
London is home to much of the
spreading
UK's.
in spreading the practice.
London is
London
home to
is
much of
home to much of the UK's
green roof
roof
market.
market.
Green roof market.
Green roof market.
Mainly due to
Mainly due
forward-thinking
to
policies
mainly due to forward-thinking policies
such as the London Plan,
such as the London Plan,
which has paved the way to more than doubling
which had paved the way to more than doubling
the area of green roofs in the capital.
the area of green roofs in the capital.
Okay, let's try once again.
Rooftops covered with grass, vegetable gardens, and
Không phải vegetable, no. It's
vegetable
vegetable gardens.
vegetable
Vegetable gardens.
vegetable vegetable gardens,
and lush foliage.
vegetable gardens and
And
lush
lush foliage
foliage
are now a
and
common sight in many
foliage
cities.
and lush foliage are now a
A
common
common
sight
sight in many cities around the world.
and now a common sight in many cities around the world. More and
More and
more
more private companies
and city authority
are
are
investing in green
in
roofs,
green roofs, drawn to their wide-ranging
wide-ranging
benefits.
benefits.
Among,
Among the benefits
among the
are
benefits are saving on energy
energy
costs,
cost, mitigating the risk of
mitigating the rate of
floods,
flood,
floods
making habitats,
for urban
mitigating
wildlife,
mitigating the risk
risk of
flood,
floods,
making habitats for urban wildlife, tackling air pollution,
and even growing food.
tackling air pollution and even growing food.
Yes.
These increasingly radical urban designs can help
cities adapt
adapt
to
com, to the
monumental problems they face,
monumental problems they face,
such as
such
access to
as
resources,
access, such as access to resources and a lack of green
green space due to
space
development.
due to development. But the
But the
involvement
involvement of city
but the
authorities
involvement of city authorities, business, and other institutions
is
is
crucial to ensuring their success.
crucial to ensuring their success.
Very good. As is
Is
research investigating
investigating at is research investigating different options
to
to
suit the
suit
variety
of
of rooftop spaces found in cities.
of rooftop spaces found in cities. The UK is relatively new to developing green roofs, and local governments and institutions are playing a major role in spreading the practice. London is home to much of the UK's green roof market, mainly due to forward-thinking policies such as the London Plan, which had paved the way to more
Which has paved the way
which had paved the way to more than doubling
the area of green roofs.
The
area of green roofs in the capital.
the area of green roofs in the capital.
Very good. Okay, let's go to B now. Ongoing research is showcasing.
Ongoing research is showcasing. Ongoing research is showcasing how green roofs in cities can integrate with living walls environmentally environmentally friendly was environmentally environmentally friendly was
which
with
are partially or completely covered with greenery.
Covered with green energy.
Greenery.
With green energy. With green energy. With green energy, including a growing medium such as soil or water, such as soil or water. Research also indicates that green roofs can be integrated with drainage system. Green roofs can be integrated
Integrated nhưng mà đầu can be integrated with drainage systems on the ground.
With drainage systems. With drainage system. With
On the
drainage
ground.
systems
On the ground.
underground.
Such as street trees.
Such as street trees.
So that the water is managed better.
So that the water is
managed better.
The water is
managed better and the built environment.
Managed better and the built environment is made more sustainable. Is make more sustainable.
Không phải là sustainable, cái âm đầu là âm sure. Sustainable. No. Look at this one please. Ba âm sure luôn nè. Sustainable. Ba âm xoa luôn. Sustainable. Không phải là sus đâu, nó phải làm đâu, không phải âm sustainable. Sustainable is made more sustainable.
And environment is make more sustainable. There is also evidence to demonstrate the social value of green roofs. Doctors are increasingly
describing time spent gardening outdoors.
For patients dealing with anxiety. Dealing with
Anxiety. Dealing with anxiety. Okay, this one is anxiety.
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 An, âm ngờ nè. Ae nó anxiety.
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 Sự lo âu, lo lắng, lo âu. Anxiety. Anxiety.
Anxiety. For patients dealing with anxiety and depression with anxiety
And depression.
Anxiety and depression.
And research has found that
Depression and research had found that asset and found that access to
access,
even
cái này là access như âm đầu nha, access.
Access to even the most
Basic green spaces can provide a better quality of life for dementia sufferers. Dementia sufferers. And help people avoid obesity.
And help people avoid
Obesity.
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 Help people
Obesity.
avoid
Obesity.
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 No. Check this word out. It's obesity. Sati. You see?
Obesity.
Obesity. Obesity.
Obesity.
Sati.
Obesity.
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 Okay. Okay, let's do again. Obesity.
And help people avoid obesity. Ongoing research is showcasing how green roofs in cities can integrate with living walls, environmentally friendly walls, which are partially and completely covered with green energy, including a growing medium.
What?
Such as
A growing medium.
growing medium.
A growing medium.
A growing medium.
Such as soil or water.
Such as soil or water. Research also indicates that
Green roof can be integrated with drainage systems on the ground.
With drainage system on the ground.
Such as street trees.
On the ground, such as street trees.
So that the water is managed better.
Is managed better and the built environment
is made more sustainable.
Much more sustainable. There is also evidence to demonstrate the social value of green roofs. Doctors are increasingly prescribing time spent gardening outdoors for patients dealing with and anxiety.
What?
Anxiety. With anxiety.
Hmm?
Anxiety.
Dealing with
Cái từ
anxiety. Anxiety.
anxiety.
Ang.
Dealing with an anxiety.
Anxiety. Anxiety.
Anxiety. Dealing with anxiety. Dealing with anxiety. Dealing with anxiety and depression. Dealing with anxiety and depression, and research had found that access to even the most basic green spaces can provide a better quality of life for dementia
Dementia sufferers.
and dementia
Dementia
sufferers,
sufferers.
for dementia sufferers, and have
How people
people
avoid
avoid
obesity.
obesity
Obesity.
to and have and have
How people
and have
avoid
people avoid
obesity.
obesity obesity
Obesity.
ob-
Obesity.
obesity 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 obesity.
Okay, let's do again. Ongoing research.
Ongoing research
The research
ongoing research
is
ongoing
showcasing
research is
how
showcasing how green roofs in cities can integrate with
living
living walls,
walls, environmental friendly
environmentally
walls,
friendly walls,
which are
which
partially or
are
completely covered
partly and completely covered
with
with
greenery.
energy.
With greenery. With greenery.
Oh, greenery. With greenery.
With
With greenery.
greenery,
With greenery.
including a growing
Oh,
medium.
greenery, not green energy.
No, it's greenery. Những
Greenery.
cái gì xanh xanh, những cái gì lá cây.
Ah,
Greenery here means anything that is vegetables or leaves, not green
yeah, yeah.
energy.
Greenery. Greenery. With
Greenery.
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 With greenery, including
A growing medium. A growing
growing
medium,
medium
such as
with
soil or water.
a green a growing medium
Such as
such as
soil or
soil
water.
or water. Research
Research also
also
indicates that
indicates research also indicates that
green
green roofs
roofs can be
can be
integrated.
integrated with drainage
Drainage systems on the ground.
with drainage systems on the
System.
ground.
Drainage systems on the ground.
Drainage system on
On
the
the
ground,
ground, such as street
such as
trees,
street trees,
so that the
so
water
that
is managed
the
better
water is managed better
and the
and the
built
environment
environment is made
is
more
made
sustainable.
more sustainable. There is also evidence
Evidence to demonstrate
to demonstrate
the social value of green roofs.
the social value of green roofs. Doctors are increasingly prescribing time spent gardening outdoors for patient dealing with anxiety,
Anxiety, anxiety, anxiety.
with anxiety and depression, with anxiety and depression, and research had found that as access to
Even the most basic green
basic
spaces
green spaces
can
can
provide a better quality
provide
of
a
life
better quality of life
for dementia sufferers.
dementia sufferers
Sufferers.
or dementia sufferers and help people
Avoid
avoid
obesity.
obesity.
Okay, good. That's better now. Okay, let's do C. In North America.
In North America, green roofs have become mainstream with a wide array of expansive, accessible with a wide array of accessible and producing pro- product produce food producing roofs.
Food producing roofs installed on
Food
buildings. In
producing
buildings.
roofs installed
Installed on buildings.
installed in buildings.
Installed
Again,
in buildings.
installed in buildings.
Again, city leaders
Again, city leaders and authorities have helped push the movement forward. Only recently, San Francisco,
San
you,
Francisco,
San Francisco, San Francisco, San Francisco,
Cisco, San
San
Francisco,
Francisco, San Francisco, USA, USA create a policy requiring new
created không phải là create đâu nha, created mới đúng anh.
created
Created nhưng không hai, created a policy requiring
created a policy requiring new buildings to have green roofs. Toronto, Canada had policies dating from the 1990s encouraging cái này đọc sao ha?
encourage, tại vì cái từ gốc nó là chữ cơ là trái tim á anh. Cơ là trái tim, encourage làm cho con tim quả cảm hơn, làm cho con tim muốn làm việc hơn. Encourage, khuyến khích. Encouraging the development of urban farms.
Encouraging the development of urban farms
on rooftops.
These countries also benefit from
having newer
buildings than
in many parts of the world.
Which makes it easier to install green roofs.
Is installed.
Being able to keep enough water at roof height.
Being able to keep enough water at roof height and distribute it. Let me just check the word distribute. It's distribute or distribute. Hai cách đều được nhé. Distribute or distribute.
Distribute.
I think distribute. And okay, but being able to keep enough water at roof height and distribute it right across the rooftop is crucial to maintaining the plants. Okay, let's do this one. Being able to
being able to keep enough water at roof height and distribute it right across the rooftop is crucial to maintaining the plants on any green drop, especially
on
on
any green roof. On any green roof.
and the edible
Especially on edible roofs.
on any green roofs, especially
Especially on edible roofs.
especially on edible roof on edible roofs
Where fruits and vegetables are farmed.
where fruit
Fruits and vegetables are farmed.
where fruit and vegetable are farmed.
And it's much easier to do this in newer buildings.
It's much easier to do this in newer buildings, which can typically hold great weight.
What?
Which can
Typically, okay.
which can typically hold
Which can typically hold greater weight. Let's try that again. Which can typically,
which can typically hold
greater weight. Hold greater weight.
Hold greater weight. Hold greater weight than two little feet all once. Having a stronger root also makes it easier to grow a greater variety of plants since the soil can be deeper. In North America,
okay, let's try again. In North America, green
roofs
have become
mainstream with a wide array of expansive, accessible, and food producing
roofs installed in buildings.
Again, city leaders and
authorities have helped.
And again, city leaders and authorities have helped put the movement forward. Only recently, San Francisco, USA created a policy requiring new buildings to have green roofs.
Created a policy requiring
created a policy requiring new buildings to have green roofs. Toronto, Canada has policies dating from the 1990s encouraging the development
of urban farms on rooftops. These countries also benefit
also benefit from
having newer
newer
buildings than
than in many parts
of the
of the
world.
world.
In many
We-
parts of the world.
In many
In many
parts,
parts of the world.
in many parts of the world,
Which makes it easier to
which
install green roofs.
which makes it easier to install green roofs. Being able to keep enough water at roof height.
Being
And
able to keep enough water at roof height.
being able to keep
Keep
enough
enough
water.
water at roof height.
Being able to keep enough water at roof height
And distribute it right
it
across the rooftop.
and distribute it
And
right
distribute,
across
distribute it right across the rooftop and distribute it.
distribute it and distributed and distributed and distributed it and distributed and distributed right across the rooftop is crucial to maintaining the plants on any green roofs. Especially on edible roofs.
Especially on edible, ăn được. Edible mean eat, able to eat, you know. Edible.
Especially on edible roofs where fruit and vegetable are farmed, and it's much easier to do this on newer buildings, which can typically hold greater weight.
Typically hold greater weight.
Which can typically
hold greater weight.
Can typically hold
Greater weight.
greater weight.
Greater weight.
Weight.
Greater weight.
Greater weight.
Than to retrofit old ones.
Hold greater weight than to retrofit.
Than to retrofit old ones.
Than to retrofit old ones. Than to retrofit old ones. Having a stronger roof also makes it easier to grow a greater variety of plants since the soil can be deeper. So left from the middle. Being able to keep
Being
enough
able
water,
to keep enough water.
Being able to keep enough water at roof height and distribute it
and distributed right across the rooftop.
And distributed right across the rooftop is crucial
to maintaining the plants
on any green roofs.
Any green
roofs, especially on edible roofs where fruit and vegetables are farmed.
Yes.
And it's much easier to do this in newer buildings, which can typically hold great weight
Great
than
weight.
to great weight.
Yes.
Great weight than to retrofit old ones.
Than to retrofit old ones.
Than to retrofit.
Old ones.
Than to retrofit old ones. Having a stronger rope also makes it easier
to grow a greater variety of plants.
variety. Having a stronger rope also makes it easier to grow a greater variety
of plants.
Since
the soil
the
can be deeper.
soil can be deeper. So being able to keep enough water at root height and distribute it right across the rooftop is crucial to maintaining the plants on any green roofs, especially on edible roofs where fruit and vegetables are farmed, and it's much easier to do this in newer buildings, which can typically hold greater weight than
greater weights than
hold greater weight than to retrofit or old ones. Retrofit old ones.
Very good.
Having a stronger rope also makes it easier to grow a greater variety of plants.
To grow a
greater
variety of plants.
To
Yes.
grow a greater variety of plants, since the soil can be deeper. And it's much easier to do this in newer buildings, which can typically hold greater weight, hold greater weight, hold greater weight than to retrofit old ones. Having a stronger ropes also makes it easier to grow a greater variety of plants, since the soil can be deeper. In North America, green roofs have become mainstream with
a wide array of expansive
array of expansive, accessible
and food producing roofs.
With a wide array of expansive, accessible, and food-producing roofs installed in buildings. Again, city leaders and authorities have
helped push the movement forward.
Put the movement forward. Only recently, San Francisco, USA created
a policy
requiring new buildings to have green roofs. Toronto, Canada have policies dating from
the
the
1990s,
1990s
encouraging the
development of urban farms on rooftops. These countries also benefit from having newer buildings than in many parts of the world.
In many parts of the world.
In many parts of the world. In many parts of the world, which makes it easier to install green roofs. Being able to keep enough water at roof height and distribute it right across the rooftop is crucial to maintaining the plants on any green roof, especially on edible roofs where fruit and vegetables are farmed. And it's much easier to do this in newer buildings, which can typically hold greater weight than to retrofit old ones. Having a stronger roof
Roof also
makes
makes it easier.
it easier to grow a greater variety
of plants.
A greater variety of plants, since the soil can be deeper.
Good. Let's try A again. Green roofs. Rooftops
Green roofs.
covered.
Green roofs.
Okay.
Rooftops covered with grass.
Vegetable gardens.
Vegetable gardens and lush foliage. And lush foliage.
No.
Foliage.
Nhìn kỹ mặt
Foliage.
chữ AGE cuối đọc là âm edge, IDZ. Edge.
Foliage.
Foliage. Foliage. Lush foliage.
Lush foliage.
Foliage. Lush foliage.
And lush foliage are
And then
now
a common sight
in many cities around the world. More and more private companies and city authorities are investing in green roofs. Investing
in green
roofs. Drawn
to their wide-ranging benefits.
Drawn to their wide-ranging benefits. Among the benefits are saving
on energy cost, mitigating the risk of floods. Mitigating the risk of floods.
Mitigating the risk
of floods.
Mitigating the risk
rồi anh lại giờ rồi.
Mitigating the risk.
Mitigating the risk of floods.
The risk
of floods. Making habitats for urban wildlife.
Mitigating the risk of flood.
Making habitats for urban wildlife. Tackling air pollution.
The risk of flood. Making habitats for urban wildlife. Tackling air pollution.
And even growing food. This increasingly radical urban designs can help cities adapt
to the
monumental problems they face.
To the monumental problems
they face, such as access to resources.
To the monumental problems they face, such as
Access, such as access to resources
access to resources,
and
such
a
as
lack of green
access
space.
to resources, such as access to resources
And a
and
lack of green
lack of
space
green space
due to
due
development.
to development, but the involvement of city authorities, business, and other
Businesses and other institutions.
business,
Businesses.
oh,
Cái từ đọc là
business,
business, hai chữ y á.
business,
Businesses. Có nhiều nữa.
business,
Businesses. Businesses. Ba chữ y ngắn. Businesses. 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 Businesses.
businesses, city authority, businesses, and other institution, and other institutions is crucial to ensuring
Ensuring
their success. As a result, investigating
different options to suit a
options
variety
to suit the variety of
of rooftop spaces found in cities.
spaces found on cities.
In cities. The UK is relatively new to developing green roofs.
Relatively new to developing green roofs, and local government
and institutions
and institutions are
playing a major role in spreading the practice. Yes.
London is home to much
of the UK's
green roofs market, mainly due to forward-thinking policies such as the London Plan, which had favored
which has paved the way to more than doubling the area.
It has paved the way to more than doubling
the area
of
green roofs in the capital. Okay, let's do it again because I still feel like there's a problem. Okay, A. Rooftops covered
with grass, vegetable gardens, and lush foliage, are now a common sight in many cities around the world. More and more private companies and city authorities are investigating in green roofs, drawn to their wide-ranging benefits. Among the benefits are saving on energy costs, mitigating mitigating the risk of flood, making habitats for urban wildlife, tackling air pollution, and even growing food. These increasingly radical urban designs can help cities adapt to the monumental to the monumental to monument to monumental to the monumental problem they face, such as access to resources, and a lack of green space due to development, but the
Involvement of city
of city
authorities
authorities, businesses, and other institutions
institution
and other institutions is crucial to ensuring their success as a research investigating different options to suit the variety of rooftop spaces found in cities. The UK is relatively new to developing green roofs, and local
governments and institutions and institutions are playing a major role in
role
spreading the practice.
spreading the practice. London is home to much
of the UK's green roof market,
green roof market,
mainly due to forward-thinking
forward-thinking policies
such as the London Plan,
the London Plan,
which has paved the way
which had paved the way to more than doubling
the area of green roofs in the capital.
The area of green roofs in the capital.
Okay, very good. Now, okay, let's do B now. Ongoing research is
showcasing how green roofs in cities can integrate
with living walls. Những âm hai. Environmentally friendly walls. Environmentally thực sự là âm 2 và âm 4 đúng hơn á. Environmentally friendly walls. Environmentally nhưng mà thường á là âm 2 là ổn rồi. Những âm 2 là ổn rồi. Environmentally friendly walls.
Environmentally friendly walls,
which are partially or completely covered with greenery,
which are partially or completely covered with greenery,
including a growing medium, such as soil or water.
Research also indicates that
green roofs can be integrated with drainage systems on the ground. Drainage systems on the ground.
Drainage system on the ground,
such as street trees, so that the water is managed better, and the built environment It's made more
made
sustainable.
more sustainable.
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 Sustainable. There is also evidence to
To demonstrate the
demonstrate
social value
social value
of
of
green
green
roofs.
roof.
Doctors are
Doctors
increasingly
are
prescribing
prescribing
time.
predis- prescribing
Prescribing time
prescribing time
spent
spent
gardening outdoors
gardening spent gardening outdoors
for
for
patients dealing
patients
with anxiety,
dealing with an anxiety
anxiety,
uh, with anxiety
anxiety,
anxiety with anxiety
and
with
depression.
anxiety depression and depression
And depression.
and depression.
And research has found that
And research had found that
access
access to
access
even the
cái này là
most
access nha, ACC là access, còn cái
access
ASS là access. Hai từ có nghĩa hoàn toàn khác nhau. Access là tiếp cận, truy cập, còn assess ASS là kiểm tra, đánh giá. Hai nghĩa khác nhau hoàn toàn nha. Access to even the most basic green spaces.
access
No, đây là access trong đầu.
đây là access and access.
Please be careful. Please be careful.
Yeah.
Access.
Access.
Sự truy cập, sự tiếp cận được với cái gì đó. Nhưng mà access nhấn âm 2 nó chính là một cái từ hoàn toàn khác. Kiểm tra, đánh giá. Một cái là access, một cái là assess.
Access. 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 Access.
Access.
That access.
Access. Access. Access. Và assess. Access and assess.
Access.
Okay, be careful with this one. Okay, so access.
That access to even
The most basic green spaces
green spaces can provide a better quality of life
for dementia sufferers
sufferers
and help people
and
avoid
help
obesity.
people avoid
Obesity.
obesity.
Okay, let's try again. Be ongoing research. Let's try again, and then we'll take a break. Okay. Ongoing research.
Ongoing research is showcasing how green roofs in cities can integrate with living walls, environmentally friendly walls, which are partially and completely covered with greenery, including a growing medium such as soil
or water.
Research also indicates
that
research also indicates that
green roofs can be integrated
with drainage system on the ground,
such as street trees,
so that the water is managed better and the built
environment is made more sustainable.
Environment is made more sustainable. There is
also evidence to demonstrate. Demonstrate.
There is are so evident to demonstrate the social value of green roofs. Doctors are increasingly prescribing
time spent
pre- prescribing time spent gardening outdoors for patients dealing with anxiety and depression. And research
Okay.
had found that access to even the most basic green spaces can provide a better
Quality of life for dementia
for
sufferers. Dementia sufferers.
dementia sufferers
And
and
help
help
people avoid
people
obesity.
avoid obesity.
Okay, very good. Okay, let's take a break now. Okay, so we do B, C already. Okay, let's do D now. D. Mr. Hung, please. For green roofs to become the norm for new developments.
For green roofs to become the norm for new
Developments.
For new developments, there needs to be support from
There needs to be support from public authorities.
There needs to be support from public authorities
And private investors.
Investors. The
investors. Investors. Private investors.
Private investors, those responsible for maintaining buildings, may have to acquire new skills such as landscaping, and in some cases, volunteers may be needed to help out.
Volunteers may be needed to help out. Landscaping, and in some cases, landscaping,
such as landscaping, and in some cases,
volunteers may be needed to help out.
Other considerations include installing
include installing drainage path.
Installing
drainage path.
Meeting other considerations include installing drainage paths, meeting health and safety requirements, and perhaps allowing access for the public, as well as planning restrictions and disruption from regular activities in and around the building during installation. To convince investors and developers that installing green roofs is worthwhile economic.
Worldwide, you mean worldwide?
Is worldwide economy.
Worthwhile, cái từ này là worthwhile. Worth là đáng giá, worthwhile là một cái gì đó đáng để làm. Something that is worth doing. Worthwhile.
Worldwide.
Xong rồi kéo dài, xong rồi IELTS.
Worldwide.
Worthwhile. Worthwhile.
Worldwide. 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 That installing green roofs is worthwhile.
Worthwhile.
Economy.
Worthwhile. Worthwhile.
Worthwhile.
Worthwhile. Worthwhile. Worthwhile.
Worthwhile is worthwhile. Economic arguments are still the most important. The term natural capital. The term natural capital has been developed has been developed to explain
the economic những bà economic value of nature.
The
Economic những bà economic value of nature.
economy.
No, cái từ mình đã nói rồi mà. Những ông bà
The
economic value. Economic value.
The
Economic value of nature.
The economic value of nature. Explain the economic. The economic. The
Economic value of nature.
The economic value. The economic value. The economic value of nature.
For example, measuring the money saved by
measuring
I'm DZ. Measuring the money saved by installing.
Measuring the money saving by installing
natural solutions.
Natural solutions to protect against flood damage.
Floods.
Flood.
To protect against flood.
To protect against
flood
damage. To protect against flood damage. Adapt to climate change. Adapt to climate change or
adapt to climate change.
Adapt to climate change or have people lead healthier and happier lives.
Lead healthier and happier lives.
Adapt to healthier or have people
lead healthier and happier lives.
Lead healthier and happier lives.
Okay, let's do it again. For green roofs to become the norm.
For green roofs to become the norm for new developments, there needs
to be support
from public authorities and private investors, those responsible for maintaining buildings may have to acquire new skills such as landscaping, such as landscaping, and in some cases, volunteers may be needed to help out. Other considerations include installing drainage, installing drainage paths, meeting health and safety requirements, and perhaps allow access for the public as well as planning restriction.
What? This is
Restriction.
planning. Planning restriction. Restrictions and disruption. Restrictions and disruption.
Restriction and disruption, restriction and disruption from regular activities in and around the building during installation. To convince investor and developers
to convince investors and developers
to convince investor and developers
that installing green roofs is worthwhile.
Installing green roofs is worthwhile.
Installing green roofs is worthwhile. Nhớ âm đầu anh. Worthwhile. Let's check this word for a moment just to be sure. Here. Worth kéo dài. Worthwhile. Worthwhile. Âm thở thẻ lưỡi nè. Worthwhile. Đủ ít, quan trọng, đủ tốt. Good enough to be suitable reward for the money or time spent. Xứng đáng để làm, đáng làm. Cái tiếng Việt có nghĩa là đáng làm á. Worthwhile. Yes.
Worthwhile.
Okay. Now, okay, worthwhile. Installing green roof is worthwhile. Economic arguments. Economic arguments are still the most important. Can you do that?
Okay. To convince investors. To convince investors
and developers that installing green roofs is worthwhile. Economic arguments. Economic arguments.
Economic arguments
Are still the most important. Economic. Mở rộng miệng.
economic
Economic value. Sorry, economic arguments.
economic
Cái này là economic arguments. Economic arguments
economic arguments
are still the
economic
most important.
arguments are still the most important. The term natural capital has been developed to explain
The economic value of nature.
the economic value of nature. The economic value of nature.
For
For
example,
example,
measuring the money saved.
measuring,
Measuring.
measure,
Measure. I'm there. Measuring.
measuring. For example, measuring the money saved by installing
Installing.
natural
Natural solution. By
Natural.
installing natural solutions.
installing natural
Solutions to protect against flood damage. Installing
natural solutions to protect against flood damage, adapt to climate change, or help people lead healthier and happier lives. For green roofs to become
Okay, let's do E. Let's try E then. As the expertise, cái này như đầu nha. Với expertise là expertise.
as the expertise.
Không phải là expertise, nó là expertise.
As
Okay,
the
expertise. You can see here.
Expertise.
Expertise, ngầm đầu.
Expertise.
Chuyên ngành tại liên quan chữ expert, chuyên gia. The high level of knowledge or skills, cái chuyên ngành cao hoặc là kỹ năng cao. Expertise. As the expertise about green roofs grows.
Expertise about green roof grows. Official standards
have been developed.
Official standards have been developed.
Official standards. Let me check this word. Is it official or official? It's những âm hài đúng không?
Official.
Yes, official.
Official.
I'm sure. Official. Chính thức. Hoặc là nó liên quan một cái vị trí mà có bộ phận trách nhiệm. Official. Let's say official standards, những cái chuẩn chính thức đã được phát triển. Official standards have been developed to ensure.
Official standards have been developed to ensure that they are designed, constructed, and maintained properly.
Properly một cách đường hoàng, một cách đàng hoàng. Còn probably là kiểu gì cũng sẽ, kiểu gì cũng sẽ như thế. Probably với properly khác nhau nha.
properly,
Đây là
properly,
properly, một cách đàng hoàng,
properly,
một cách đúng đắn và đàng
properly,
hoàng. Constructed and maintained
properly,
properly,
and function
properly,
well, and
properly,
function properly and function well,
and function well.
and function well. Improvements in
Improvements, không có
the
và mình, không và
society.
mình nha. Improvements, improvements,
Improvement,
improvements in the
improvement,
science,
improvements in the society and technology, underpinning improvements in the society and technology underpinning green group development have also led to new variation.
what?
New
Variation, nhưng ngầm bà, and
variation.
also led to new variations in the concept. Concepts,
Variations.
variations in the concepts.
New variations in the concept. Two new variations in the concept. For example, blue roofs enable buildings to hold water over longer period of time rather than draining it away quickly. Crucial in times of heavier rainfall. There are also combinations.
Động từ là combine nhưng mà danh từ là combination. Không phải combination,
There
không phải
are
combination đâu.
also
Combination.
combinations. There are also combinations of green roofs with solar panels.
Solar panels.
With solar panels and brown roofs which are wider in nature and maximize
Wilder, which are wilder in nature. Y ngắn là nè. Which are wilder in nature and maximize biodiversity.
If the trend continues, if the
trend continues, ngầm hai, động từ continues. If the trend continues, it could create new jobs.
It could create new jobs
and a more vibrant
and
sustainable local food economy.
Economy.
Từ này nhờ danh từ nhé âm hai.
Economy.
Yes, local food economy. Local food economy.
And local food economy.
Local food economy.
And sustainable local food economy. Alongside
many other benefits.
There
are still barriers to overcome.
But the evidence
so far indicates that
but the evidence so far indicate that
green roofs have a potential.
So far indicates that green roofs have the potential
to transform cities.
To transform cities and help them function
Sustainably long into the future.
sustainably
Sustainably long into the future.
sustainably long into the future.
Future.
The future.
The success stories need to be studied.
The success story need to be studied and replicate elsewhere.
And replicated. Replicated nhưng đầu.
And
Replicated elsewhere. Elsewhere.
and replicated elsewhere. And
Câu chuyện thành
replicated
công này cần phải được nghiên cứu và được nhân giống lên, nhân rộng lên chỗ nào khác nữa. Những chỗ khác nữa. And replicated elsewhere. And replicated elsewhere.
To make green, blue, brown, and food producing groups the norm
In cities around the world. Around the world.
In
Around the world. Around the world. In cities around the world. Can you try that again,
In
please?
cities around the world.
Mm-hmm.
As the
expertise about green roofs grows.
As the
expertise
about green roofs grows, official standard. Official standards have been developed to ensure that they are designed, constructed, and maintained properly and function well. Improvements in the society and technology in the green roof development.
Underpinning green roof development.
Underpinning green
Là
roof.
tiền đề, là cái gì đó là quan trọng nhất cho sự phát triển green roof. Underpinning green roof development have also led to new variations.
Variation in the concept.
What?
For example,
variations in the in the concept. Không phải concept, không có concept.
Concept.
No, những âm đầu. Từ đó những âm đầu.
Concept.
Concept. In a concept. In a concept. In a concept. 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 Concept.
In the concept. In the concept. In the concept. In the concept. For example, blue roof enable buildings to hold water over longer periods of time rather than raining it away quickly. Crucial in times of heavier rainfall. There are also combinations of green roofs with solar panels and brown roofs with a wilder which are wilder in nature and maximize
Biodiversity, tại cái từ gốc nó là diverse.
Biodiversity.
Từ gốc nó là
Maximize
diverse, cho nên là
biodiversity.
biodiversity.
Maximize biodiversity if the trend continues.
Continues.
But if the trend continues,
If the
it
trend
could
continues,
create-
it could create new jobs.
If the trend continues, it could create new jobs and a
A more
more
vibrant
vibrant
and
a more
sustainable local
vibrant
food
and
economy.
sustainable local food
Economy.
local food economy.
Local food
Alongside
economy.
local food economy.
Yes. Local food economy.
Alongside
Many other benefits.
alongside many other benefits, there are still
Barriers to overcome.
There are still barriers to overcome, but the evidence
So far indicates that
green roofs have
the potential to transform
the
cities.
potential to transform cities and have them function sustainably
Long into the future.
sustainably long into the future. The success stories need to be
Studied and replicated elsewhere.
replicated elsewhere.
Elsewhere.
And
Replicated elsewhere.
replicated elsewhere. And replicated elsewhere to make
green, blue, brown
and food
producing
producing
roofs the
the
norm
norm in cities
around the world.
Around the world.
Okay, let's try again D now for green roofs.
For green roofs to become the norm for new developments, there need to be support
from public authorities.
And private
private investors.
And private investors.
Those responsible for maintaining.
Those responsible for maintaining buildings may have to acquire
RE cuối nè, âm RE cuối nè, âm nhẹ. Acquire to acquire new skills. To acquire new skills.
Such as landscaping, and in some cases, volunteers may be needed to help out. Other considerations
include installing drainage paths.
Other considerations include
installing drainage
paths, meeting health
and safety requirements,
and perhaps
allowing access for the public.
Allowing access for the public, as well as
planning restrictions and disruption from regular
activities in and around the building during installation. To convince investors and
developers that
and developer to convince investor and developers that installing
Installing,
green
âm đầu.
roofs
Installing.
that
Installing green roofs
that installing green roofs
is
is
worthwhile.
worthwhile is
It's
worthwhile
worthwhile. It's worthwhile.
worthwhile
Economic arguments. Economic arguments.
e- e- economic
Economic arguments
economic arguments
are still the most important.
economic arguments are still the most important.
The term natural capital
The term natural capital
has
has
been
been
developed.
to explain have been developed to explain the economic value,
Economic value.
of nature, the economic,
No,
the
no.
economic value,
Economic value nha các bạn. Economic này tính từ. Economic value.
economic
The
value,
economic value of nature.
the economic value of nature.
For example,
The economic value of nature.
for example, measuring the money saved
For example, measuring the money
saved
saved
by installing natural
natural solutions
to protect against flood damage.
natural solutions to protect against flood damage.
Against flood damage.
Against
Flood damage.
Against flood damage.
Adapt to climate change. Or help people
Lead healthier
and happier lives. Healthier and happier lives. Okay.
Healthier and happier lives.
Vẫn chưa được lắm, là có nhiều cái. Okay, E as the expertise.
As the expertise about
expertise. Âm Z sao cùng. Expertise.
As the expertise
about green roofs grow.
Expertise about green roofs grows about green roofs grows official standards have been
developed to ensure that they are designed
developed to ensure that
they are designed,
constructed and maintained properly.
Nó phải rõ ràng nha. Properly.
And maintained properly. And maintained properly.
And function well.
Properly and function well. Improvements
in the science and
technology underpinning green roof development
have also led to new variations in the concept.
For example, blue roofs enable
những âm đầu. Enable những âm hai chứ. enable,
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 blue roofs
enable,
and able buildings to hold water over
over
long
longer periods of
periods
time,
of time. To hold water over longer periods of time
rather than draining it away
draining
quickly.
rather than draining it away quickly.
Crucial in times of heavier
Crucial
rainfall.
in times of heavier rainfalls.
There are also combinations of green
There
roofs,
are also combinations of green roofs with
solar
solar
panels,
panels and brown
brown
roofs,
roof with a
which
wider, which are
wider,
wilder, nhưng chứ phải là wider đâu.
wilder,
Wilder in nature,
wilder,
which are wilder in
wilder,
nature,
which which are
wilder in
in
nature,
nature and maximize biodiversity.
biodiversity, nhưng mà diverse,
Biodiversity.
biodiversity,
Biodiversity and maximize biodiversity if the trend continues.
If the trend continues,
If the trend continues,
it could create new jobs and a more vibrant
and sustainable
local food economy.
A local food economy
Alongside many other benefits.
There are still barriers to overcome, but the evidence so far indicates
that
but the evidence so far indicates that green roofs have the potential
to transform cities
and have them function sustainably
long into the future.
The success stories
need to be studied,
and
replicated elsewhere, to make green, blue, brown,
to make green, blue,
brown, and
fruit producing roofs
the norm in cities.
Around the world.
Around the world.
Around the world.
Okay, let's stop here then.